Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Friday, we have made it. Right now, we're at, 42. It's only going to get 4 degrees warmer, 46 for the high. So I highly suggest bundling up today. Wear an extra long john shirt. When's the last time you heard that? Wear some long johns. Have an extra thicker coat today. No matter what you do, you're going to need it out there. So cool morning as we begin it together. We really and truly dodged a bullet yesterday. That's without a doubt, and we'll get into the forecast and what it holds over the next little bit. But as we put Meridian Honda radar, let's just look back at this of what went on yesterday. Now, we had severe thunderstorms roll through the area, and we had a bunch of flooding and a few limbs that came down. But if y'all remember, we were talking about this storm that moved through Kemper County, and as it crossed into Alabama, it would touch down. Look at that. This is the path that it came. Across Damascus, this area 493, and then right there near the chicken shack, and then it made touchdowns in Emelle, Alabama. We had 3 different touchdowns in between there in Gainesville, Alabama. It would continue northeasterly, and look at this. Look at the path of this thing. It just continually touched down. This could have been so much worse for our area. Again, it was a day of getting off light. Had some flooding down south, Clark County. Had some more damage in those areas, and we'll look at that in a little bit when we pull back up and do a complete forecast in a little bit. But a day to really be, what's the word I'm looking for? Thankful. We should be. We have dodged the bullet so many times when it comes to weather in our area and been fortunate that they haven't touched down. As we were looking at those lines of where it is, this is where it all began, and it was building these storms. And it didn't quite make it to that level 3 mark before it touched down. But that's what went on with the weather yesterday. Well, y'all ready for a good inspirational moment? Let's out to Collinsville and hear from Brother Ben this morning. Maybe he'll get us all cheered up.
One of my dad's passions over the years has been finding and collecting Native American artifacts up in Kentucky where he lives. Arrowheads, spearheads, tools, all sorts of things. And he's come to amass a modest but very fine collection. Well, one of his favorite things to do when somebody comes to visit is to pull that out, to show it off a bit, to talk about what he's found. Not to brag, but to share in the joy of what he's found and what he's come to understand about him. Jesus says that's what people who've come to understand the true meaning and value of the kingdom of heaven should do as well. He said in Matthew 13:52 that every person who's been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like a master of a house who brings out his treasure, what is new and old. Beloved, these kingdom truths are treasures that we hold, and if you're part of the kingdom, you should share them with whomever you can. It'll not only change people's lives, but also our community. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry.
Again, you can always join them for church. They'll do that on Wednesday and then again this Sunday. Join them there at First Baptist in Collinsville. Great folks. I think you'd enjoy yourself. As we begin today, relatively a quiet night across the Meridian area. We hope it remains that way. I'm not even going to say the date. It's just like you shouldn't say it. We're not. Let me get everything situated here. As we begin today, let's talk about a few things. Philadelphia. We see that a murder suspect, well, they've been arrested with attempted murder. Involved a knife. Ooh. Police Chief Lyons has arrested someone with that. An altercation began in a driveway. Someone got cut and stabbed. They have made an arrest. And I may not say his first name correct. Cordeo Seals, 34, of Philadelphia there, got arrested. They've transported him to the Winston County Jail for that attempt. We'll get into a few things that happened in Meridian as well. Kind of similar. Let's pull this up and just talk about this just a second. This went on yesterday. A machete. Seriously, who walks around with a machete in the Meridian area? That happened yesterday. Whether or not you've heard about that yet, the incident happened at the 2100 block of 12th Avenue. Now, we don't know what provoked the man, but he did attack someone with a machete. They were rushed to the hospital for care. There's several different versions of this floating around, but he did try to protect himself. He was slashed, pretty deep wound there in that forearm. Did I mention that was a machete? Now, do I know if they knew one another? No, the report doesn't tell me that. But that's serious. Our area, machetes. We've heard of this in bigger cities where they attack people just out of random with them. That happened yesterday. We would also discover after daylight yesterday, this is a pretty big deal for our area. We had 2 businesses the night before last robbed, or burglarized. Let me back up. They were burglarized, 2 tire shops, 8th Street, one at 45th, and then, of course, J&J Tire. They broke in there. We would learn after daylight yesterday that the John Deere dealership was broken into. They attempted to steal 3 tractors. It didn't quite work out as they planned, but they did steal 1. They would cut access to this fence right there and go in, cut locks. They attempted to take this one also. It just didn't work out when they loaded it. Just goes on and on and on with thieves. They did steal 1 tractor. It was a compact tractor. 38 horsepower. Well, you go, well, did they bring their own trailer? No, they spotted one of those too and borrowed it, not to return it. So that's what happened in the wee hours. Now, we do have a little bit of footage as we look at some camera pics. I do believe this is a Ford. They'd done this over a 3-hour period, too. 3 hours. Took their time. That looks to be a 2-tone white Ford F-150 is what it looks like. I can't exactly tell the year. But that is a dump bed. And there's a little bit better picture of this. Here's one of the suspects walking in. But there's a better picture of the trailer. That's one of those hydraulic dump beds. And they loaded the tractor in it, and off they went. It looks as though it's on there right there. Yeah, it is. They loaded it in the rear, and off they went into the night. Bravery is what I call that. South Frontage Road, Meridian is where all that went down. If you didn't get a chance to read that article yesterday, read back on that. Now, oftentimes, as I mentioned this morning, seem to be quiet, but sometimes daylight changes things. Again, let's remember what today is. Be extra careful. As we looked at that weather yesterday, as we brought up where all this stuff went by, let's look at Emelle, Alabama. This is pretty close to home, some pictures that were sent in. Damage throughout the area there in Emelle, Alabama, just south of Geiger. As you'll see in these, look at the trees, just cut. I've got different videos. I've got several videos of this, as a matter of fact. I think I've got some more that I can post today. But a lot of damage to our area as it crossed out of Mississippi right on that Alabama line. Tragic, it is. We hate that even happened. Selma, Alabama almost doesn't exist this morning as bad as it was there. Have you seen the picture of Selma, Alabama? Here's a few of these as we look here. Look at that building. Look at the fire. It's just awful as we look across here. Let me see here. Here's another picture. This is Sturtevant Hall. Look at that. The home still stands, but the entire grounds are gone. That was a massive tornado that went through Selma. What we're hearing this morning after daylight is, I think they've tabulated it to 7 lives lost in Alabama. Prayers for those families. That's a tough one to swallow there. Let's see what else we've got. We do have a Democrat that's going to be running for governor. Brandon Presley has announced his intention to run. Does he have a shot? Well, I don't know. Do we have a strong Republican governor? I don't think so. We'll see if he's going to be challenged or not. There's a lot of talk that someone will challenge him. Who could actually win? We'll see what happens with that. We do see that 2 more homicides happened in Jackson, Mississippi. Boy, they need to fix that place, don't they? Gulfport police, just like Meridian and other towns, investigating a homicide that somebody was stabbed. That, as we've often said, is a lot is blamed on a gun. A gun will not do anything without someone behind it. And if they don't have that, they move to other means. This backs up that statement. Corinth, Mississippi. I think we all know where that is. Had a man arrested for trying to get into a car. It was a domestic dispute. He wanted in real bad. She locked the door. He used a brick. He's been arrested. Jones, which is just due south of the Meridian area, they had a school lockdown. And we've had them here in the Meridian area, too. Depending upon what school in the area will they give you information. The county schools are great at giving us information when lockdowns happen. As we looked at Jones County, they had someone stumble up on a campus. Wasn't acting right, slurring words. They called 911, locked the doors, wouldn't let him in. They arrived and he was arrested. Something wasn't quite right is what they're trying to put out on that. Could have had some issues, some mental issues. They're looking into all of that. Maybe we'll find out more about that. We've seen this in Meridian also, this next case, as we look around the state of things that happened. Wasn't long ago, this was Tupelo where this is. You remember not long ago where I did the story on, was it Miracle on 34th, I think is what I put? The toddler that was found walking in the street. They found the same thing in Tupelo. This time they charged the parents with neglect. It's sad. I don't think there was ever any charges brought up in Meridian. Not that I'm aware of. Have a man in Mississippi accused of paying his rent. He was stealing it. Well, he'll pay for that in the end, won't he? And there's several other stories that we will cover this morning that we'll carry into the morning show. One of the top stories, and I am still in shock. I'm sure you are too. Lisa Marie Presley passed away yesterday from a heart attack. Can y'all believe that? It's just shocking. You can't imagine. I think, 54 is what her age was. Getting comments, any news on the missing lady from overnight? No, they will resume this morning. To my knowledge, nothing was found last night. I tried to check in with a few people this morning, but she has not been located yet. The search will continue this morning. Going to need a few prayers there. We got more on the way. Y'all stay close with us.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Well, we say good morning to Larry Davis over in Newton this morning. Thank you for watching. We appreciate that. Big dial up and wishing prayers for all those families there. LaWanda, how are you? Joanne, good to see you today. Karina, glad you were up and at 'em today. Janice Bounds joins us also. Let's get deeper into our forecast now and find out. And when I tell you, you really need to take a jacket this morning, I am not exaggerating one bit. It is 42, will not get above 46 today, if that tells you anything. Matter of fact, take two coats in case you leave one inside. You have an extra one in your car. Let's check your forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs and record lows as we go back for that today. 2017, it was 79 degrees. Warm it was. Back in 62, had a low of 3 today. Woo. No, actually it was 0. That changed. Today was 0. Had a malfunction a while ago. As we look at this, today's high 47 is all we'll see in Meridian. As we go northward through Philadelphia, 46. Now, when you get near Mississippi State, we're going to see a high of about 44. As we go west across the Mississippi Delta, 40s up there, and also 49 in Vicksburg. It looks like in Natchez, that line southward, Hattiesburg to the coast, we could see 50. Not so bad, is it? As we go to Alabama, very cloudy, and there is a chance, now look at this area here, north of Tuscaloosa, this line of Jasper, Gadsden, Anniston, these areas here could see a flurry this morning. Now, nowhere near Tuscaloosa or Livingston, Alabama is that in the forecast to Auburn either. It's north of Auburn. But a chance for northeast Alabama there. Good luck to y'all. Hope you get a little bit and enjoy yourself. As we look across the nation, still warm as we've got this hot spell. We do see something creeping from the west from California. Hasn't quite made it to Texas yet, but eventually it will. We hope to have cooler weather. At least a few days of winter. I'm not talking drastic 20-degree weather or anything, but it'd be nice. Just for a smidgen. As we look at that forecast, 44 to 45, depending upon where you are. Cold tonight. 26 for a low as we'll get to 51 tomorrow. Still tomorrow night, as you wake up to go to church on Sunday morning, you're going to need a thick coat because 28 as the sun rises on Saturday, Sunday morning. 58 for a high on Sundays. Those temperatures go back up to the 70s. Look at that. And what does that tell us? More rain in the forecast. We'll watch all this to see if any of this becomes ugly or not. Let's hope not. As we look all the way through the 27th, we're at the end of the month, and there's really today being the coldest of what we've got forecasted for a while. That's major, isn't it? 67 on the 20th, 60 on the 23rd. The coldest we got there in advance is, what, about 58 degrees on the 27th? That's not winter at all. Who knows? It can happen, though. Let's look and see what the fishing forecast is. We'll go out to Chet's Paint Body. Chet tells you to be on that water today. Oh, let's see. You could be there now, but right at dark will be right that dusk dark, right around 5 o'clock to dark 30 be a great time to be fishing. If you're up for it, a little windy today as we look at that wind, 15 miles an hour with gust of 25. Okay, you may want to wait till tomorrow. It's up to you. Let's check, see what the hunting calendar says. Your first major time is going on now through about 8 o'clock this morning. If you're already in the stand, it's a great time to be there. Second major time will be after dark. Well worth trying there at dusk dark, though. That's always been my best of luck. They think they have a chance at dark. It's fun. Again, north-northwest wind around 15 miles an hour, gust of 25 today is what we're looking at when it comes to that calendar. Now, we're getting the morning show. I hope you'll come back and join us today at 8 o'clock. This will be Candace's last broadcast with us. As she will move on to do some more things. And she'll talk about all of that this morning. We will change the time. Starting Monday, we will go to 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. Our new co-host will be Debbie. It will be Scotty Ray and Debbie, as we did that for so many years. Oh, it was right at 20, 16 to 20, I can't remember. But it's been a lot. But Debbie will come back and join me starting Monday, 7 a.m. We'll be right here at YouTube, Facebook, and we'll also be on Fox 30. Several ways for you to watch us. I do hope you'll join us. It will be a lot of fun, a lot of reminiscing. And this morning, as Candace makes her final show, I do hope you'll join us and be a part of that. She has been great. A lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you back in an hour and, 10 minutes from now. News a little on the lowdown today. Not as much occurring. But we look to see you in about an hour. Come back and join us as we begin this day together. Y'all be careful, and we'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: